Hello to you, my cosmic dragon friends. It is the 3rd of December, which means it's time for our third instalment of the 2025 Advent calendar. So here we go. Let's take a look at today's cards. We have from the Lightseers Tarot 21, the World. Wow, coming in strong. The Two of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Wow. Interesting. Okay, then I have 2 Woodland Wardlands and 1 Mushroom Oracle card as well here. So we'll get to those in a moment. I just want to have a look at these 3 to start with because, wow, that's some big energy coming out here. And it's interesting because it's talking to me about, I want to say, there's a choice here. I mean, with the Two of Pentacles, very often there is a choice with number 2 energy anyway, but I feel like we are reaching a point where we have the wisdom to make the right choices for ourselves, where we've got the Owl of Wisdom on this card. And of course, the King of Swords, he's been there, done that. He uses his mind. He is the element of air. He is the intelligence. And he's up atop a mountain as well. You know, he has foresight. He's able to see further than the average person. He has better insights. And it feels like with the World, I mean, the World is such a fun card, isn't it? Because it's kind of life, the universe and everything. Little platonic solids around the edges. I feel like there are big changes possible in our lives right now, and it's coming to a head today on this number 3 energy, which makes sense because 3 is the number of the divine blueprint, which is all about how we choose to live our lives and the plan we make for our lives and our spiritual path. So there is this message of co-creation with spirit today, co-creation with your higher self, with your spirit self, and with the spirit world, with your angels, guides, God, Goddess. I want to say correct creation. Correct creation. Those are the words I'm being given. So this is about creating a better world, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. And it requires choices. It requires intelligence on our part, spiritual intelligence as well. So maybe you've been receiving some nudges recently. Maybe you're noticing changes around you in places you really weren't expecting them to show up, and in people perhaps you weren't expecting to be on a spiritual path, and yet they're acting as if they are. And you're like, wait, what? We are going to see it more and more. We are moving into this new design for life, this new blueprint, which is still only a blueprint here. It hasn't come into the physical yet. This one's physical. Looks like a water carrier or something. This one is not. This one is still a concept. But I think today's theme is we are going to start seeing the new concept reality showing up in unexpected places. Yeah, those are the words I'm given. So it's nice because you might go to a place that's very unspiritual and the person who sees you there, for example, says some unexpectedly insightful and spiritual things. And you just think, well, I wasn't expecting that here, but this is great. Is the tide really turning? Well, yes, actually it is. It absolutely is. Let's get our Woodland Wardens in. The Wolf and Rose Hip, Guardianship. And the Bobcat and Blackthorn. So we've got 2 large predators here on patience and guardianship. Wow. I love this. So 24 and 40 is L50. Oh gosh, I'm not good when Roman numerals get beyond like 10. You kind of lost me. Okay. How many cards are there in the Woodland Wardens? Let's have a look. 52 card deck. So yeah, I think that's 40. Interesting. So 40 is the number of viability. I think this came up. Did this come up on the first? On our first one? So 25 and 40. 25-7. And it's interesting because we have these 2 large predators who seem to be coupled with very useful fruits here. So the blackthorn fruits of the blackthorn and of the rosehip. The rosehip's obviously medicinal. I don't know the blackthorn berries so well. I believe they're edible. I feel like they would be high in vitamin C. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. If they're poisonous, for God's sake, don't eat them. But it seems like we have these two large predators who are here to protect us. I feel like the wolf and the bobcat are here very much in a protective capacity right now to help us to harvest what we need. Because if you look at the colours here, we've kind of got the two ends of the chakra spectrum. We've got the red of the rose hips and the purple violet of the blackthorn. So that's like the root chakra and the crown chakra. So that's all of our chakras from root to crown, all of our physical lower chakras, the ones that we think about when we talk about chakras. Of course, there are others. But it's almost like they are here protecting us in the physical, protecting us at the 3D level so that we can bring in this new world, so that we can elevate humanity to an energetic point where things noticeably start to get better. And that is actually what's happening already. And if you're paying attention, you will see it. Not everywhere, and you certainly won't see it in the news. You certainly won't see it from government and those in power who are trying to do the exact opposite, trying very hard to swim against the tide. But the tide is turning regardless, and there's nothing that the dark powers can do about that. Because the energy has already shifted in our favour, in the favour of those who wish to ascend, who wish to bring love and balance back to this planet, back to the earth. We used to have it a long time ago, many thousands of years ago, but that's part of our lost history, which we will rediscover. I know we will. But it's becoming viable now on number 40. Yes, and number 25, 25-7. I want to say 25-7 is the mind helping us make choices, but it's led by our mysticism, by our psychic ability, by our higher abilities, the ones that we retain here, even though we are not embodied as our full whole self, our full soul self right now. We still have maintained, I don't know why I'm using my glasses to tap the card, but there we go. We have maintained this knowledge here. We still have many of our psychic senses, and many of us choose to work with them. I mean, I'm working with them right now. But also to expand and grow that knowledge, that ability, that wisdom, that insight and sight, like the King of Swords. It's very interesting. I'm seeing this protection and guardianship of those who are working to elevate the world's energy and raise the vibration right now. And it is happening. It is happening, and you will see it more and more around you, I promise. Let's get our mushroom. Oyster mushroom, regeneration. Yes. It does feel like there is a regeneration happening on Earth at the moment, regardless of what's going on in the physical and how things might look, particularly because we are always drawn to look at the thing that we fear the most, at the thing that we don't want. Governments will always, and powers who want to control us will always try and make us look at things that are upsetting, things that we don't want, to make us focus on those because it makes us manifest them for them, which is not what we want at all. There is this shift happening. It's the pure white of the oyster mushrooms, great purity coming through here. And on number 9 as well, with the wisdom of number 9. And there's an element of the King of Swords who reminds me of the Hermit as well, and reminds me of the number 9 energy. We are remembering, we are regenerating ourselves right now. It's almost like we are being gifted back our psychic abilities, gifted back our intuition, our inner knowing. We are going to see things more and more clearly. It will be more and more difficult to pull the wool over our eyes. Yeah, I think we're going to see the truth very soon. We're going to see many truths that rise over and above the petty political squabbles of the ruling classes and that which they would wish to distract us with. I think there's a lot more for us to see. There's a lot more for us to learn. And those of us who are kind of already on this path, we're going to notice more and more people we weren't expecting to also be on this path and to also be waking up and having their own intuitive downloads, their own insights, their own spiritual insights. And it's just going to become natural and normal for everyone as time moves on, which is lovely. And there's something very special about this generation who are coming through right now. I think it's Generation Alpha, isn't it? We don't know anything about them yet because they're all still very young. They are the regeneration. They are the ones coming through to regenerate humanity, to bring through the new DNA codes. Now, I'm talking about spiritual DNA, which may actually show up as physical DNA as well. I don't know. Lord knows the powers that should not be were desperate to mess with our DNA. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we can transcend whatever they do to us on the physical, because it's just at that lower level. We can transcend it through our spiritual DNA, which is being upgraded regardless. Might make it a little bit more challenging, but it won't stop us. Nothing can stop us, because we are on this upward trajectory right now, which is incredibly important and absolutely unstoppable. Fascinating. So if you know any Generation Alphas, they are still very young. I think they're, maybe only 10 years old max at the moment. I'm not even sure if they're that old yet. Pay attention to what they do, because they're going to be coming through with great wisdom and great insight. And much as many of the millennials came through differently, spiritually they were different. And I can speak to that because I'm an elder millennial, I'm a zennial. I belong to the micro generation between X and Y. So I relate more to the younger ones than the older ones, to be honest, but I understand the two and I help bridge the gap. But I know I was sent here to be a helper, a teacher for the younger generations, and to guide them and to make sure they were okay. But the really young ones coming through now, the alphas, they have something very special for us. They have something very special spiritually. So that will be interesting to watch that develop and see where they go with that. But there's a lot of protection here right now on our spiritual journey. And I think that's a big part of the message today. So on an individual level, yes, I feel like we can make some really good choices right now to bring in things to our lives that perhaps we didn't expect that we would be able to. Maybe we thought we'd never be able to have children or never be able to own a house or whatever it is that we thought was out of reach. It's not out of reach. Many things are coming back within reach right now that we thought were gone, were lost, and they are not. But we are flanked by these two very powerful spiritual protectors, the bobcat and the wolf. And they are here to protect the next generation coming through as well. So quite a spiritual message there. I'm just going to grab a couple of these little angel cards here as well. Delight, yes. Simplicity, yeah. So it's a beautiful energy coming through, and we can delight in its simplicity, I think. It doesn't have to be complicated. I think the more we stop trying to overcomplicate everything, stop trying to overthink, the better the energy will flow and the better our lives will be. So it may be time to simplify your life a little bit at the moment, clear some clutter, clear some mental clutter, get rid of that which no longer serves, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, contracts, whatever. And delight in just being and knowing that we are ascending as a human group, and watch it happen, because actually it's going to be quite fun. I witnessed it myself today in a place I was not expecting to. So yeah, it's interesting timing. It really is. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you've spotted as well. Having unexpectedly deep and spiritual conversations in very mundane places with people you just wouldn't have expected it from. Okay, so that's all for today, my friends. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Please also hype this video if you enjoyed it. You can only do that on the phone, I believe, at the moment, on the mobile app. You can't do it on the desktop, but that helps me enormously because that puts me on a leaderboard. Also, remember, my diary is open. You can book your readings for December at angelwingsholistics.com, and you can find all my beautiful aromatherapy products and gifts through my Neal's Yard consultant shop. I'm an independent consultant for Neal's Yard Remedies. It's all organic, amazing aromatherapy products, highly recommended by me. Please do check it out, links below. In the meantime, I will see you again tomorrow for window number 4 on our Advent calendar. Until then, take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.